Well, then nobody knew the addictions I was battling. I acted alongside Rodney Dangerfield in Back to School, and like he always said, I got no respect. It was supporting role after supporting role, and all I wanted was a lead. It wasn't until I got cast in Less Than Zero that I finally felt like my career was going in the right direction.
Wasn't that a role about drug addiction?
Yes, there was drug addiction that my character dealt with, and it felt like I wasn't playing a role, more like I was being myself.
Art imitating life.
That was very zen of you, Chris.
Thanks. I'm very feng shui, and call me Chris Jr.
You too?
I think you mean feng shui.
No, feng shui, like the cartoon dog.
No, that was Hong Kong Phooey.
Like I said, 71 episodes of this.
Focus, people. Back to me. So, that role opened a whole new door of parts for me to play. I was still struggling with drugs and alcohol, but success made it a whole lot easier to get said drugs and alcohol. So I guess I wasn't struggling that bad. Yet.
So you were zen as well?
In a stoned out of my mind way? Then yes.
What roles were being offered with your newfound success?
Hopefully another movie with Rodney Dangerfield.
No, unfortunately. Though it was offered, I would have taken it in a heartbeat.
Back to School 2, the college years.
Back to School took place in college, Sabrina.
I knew that. I meant Back to School 2, the grad school years.
Still would have taken place at a college.
So instead, I was offered a role in Soap Dish and also a part acting alongside Mel Gibson in Air America.
Best movie about a plane until Operation Dumbo Drop came out.
Wouldn't Airplane be the best movie about a plane ever?
I don't know. Passenger 57 is a classic Wesley Snipes film and a better plane movie.
How about Snakes on a Plane?
No.
No.
I will settle this. Drop Zone is not a great movie, and Airplane is the best movie about a plane. Case closed.
Wasn't Kevin Kline in Soap Dish? I like Kevin Kline.
Yes, he was in that with me, and he was great to work with.
I wish I was working with Kevin Kline.
And I wish I was working with Rolling Stone, but here we are.
Sir, would you like me to schedule an interview with Rolling Stone?
Yes, and also schedule a real podcast interview as well. Joe Rogan or something.
No problem. Scheduling an interview with fan counters now.
Oh, they're good.
But not Joe Rogan.
Okay, let's get back on topic, guys.
That's rich coming from you people.
Anyways, what roles came up next?
Arguably the biggest role of my career yet. I was cast as the lead in Chaplin.
Great movie. And you had an amazing performance in it.
Thank you. Too bad the Academy didn't see it that way.
Best Actor nomination that year, and yet you lost to Al Pacino.
Hooah!
I don't get it.
It's Scent of a Woman. Al Pacino keeps saying that line throughout the movie.
Hooah! I do the most preparation that I've ever done for a role. I learned how to play tennis left-handed. Learned to play the violin. Learned all of Chaplin's mannerisms. And I essentially became Charlie Chaplin for the role. I lived Chaplin 24/7. I even painted my eyeballs to only see in black and white.
Ouch.
All of that, and I still lose out on an Academy Award to a catchphrase. Hooah!
Jail, stop that. I'm sorry you didn't win the Academy Award.
It's all right. And I appreciate that, Laura Jr.
Oh, you don't have to call me that.
I still have time to win one, but the accolades that I receive from millions of fans justifies how I've done in my career.
Didn't you make a documentary after that?
I did. I wrote a documentary on the presidential campaigns that were run in 1992. It was new territory for me, and it was a new... meh.
A new meh.
Yeah.
I love New Mez.
Yeah.
Plop.
Good timing.
And it was a way for me to explore some new things creatively. Unfortunately, I was also trying new drugs to help spark this newfound creativity.
Psh, like a bad psychedelic trip.
Yes, Sabrina Jr., but instead of acid, I was doing heroin, cocaine, and marijuana.
Marijuana.
Why did you say it like that?
Because it's fun.
Marijuana. You should try that.
Marijuana. Oh, I like that. You're a professional.
Robert, don't fall into the squirrel trap. So the drugs, did it hurt you creatively?
At the time, I didn't think so. Further on down the road, that would prove to be false. I was still making movies, taking a lead in Heart and Soul, while taking grittier roles in movies like Natural Born Killers.
You played the journalist following the killers around.
It was a darker role for me to take in a darker time of my life. Drugs were taking over me, and I just couldn't stop. I got arrested for the first time in 1996 for possession and speeding. Just a month later, I would get arrested for trespassing while high and they found me passed out in one of my neighbor's beds. They put me on probation and ordered drug testing. I ended up missing a drug test, and that was the first time I went to jail.
And during all of this, you still acted in movies. And were considered an extraordinary actor.
Considered an extraordinary actor? He still is an extraordinary actor.
I know he is. This was just a trying period for him. I'm just trying to see what he was thinking about while all this was going on.
Drugs.
Drugs.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
No jail, just drugs.
Actually, Laura Jr., he is right. Well, right about everything but the rock and roll. I had spent 6 months in jail, and when I got out, even with the mandatory drug testing, I still wanted to get high. The biggest role I took during this time was opposite Tommy Lee Jones in U.S. Marshals.
All right, well, listen, it's just Laura, no Junior.
Just play along, Laura Jr. Wasn't U.S. Marshals the sequel to the Dog the Bounty Hunter movie?
Dog the what movie?
Yeah, you know, the Dog Jr., the Bounty Hunter movie where he goes to collect the bounty, you know, on the little porcupine aliens before they kill everybody on the farm and take over Earth.
You mean Critters?
Yeah, Critters. That's one.
Who writes a Critters reference into a Robert Downey Jr. biopic?
Apparently, that's what your show is known for.
Oh, yeah.
Dog the Bounty Hunter wasn't in Critters. U.S. Marshals was a sequel to The Fugitive.
Oh, yeah. I know the Fugitive. That starred Ray Liotta Jr. on the plane with the snakes.
No. I believe that was Turbulence and wasn't a good movie, and not every movie about planes has snakes.
It should.
I'll tell you what, it was no Air America.
Suck up a Junior. Suck up.
Yep.
It's fine. The movie didn't do as well as they had hoped. I still think we did a good job making it. What I didn't do was a good job of going to my drug tests. I would miss another one and get sentenced to 3 years in jail.
Well, that's a long time.
It wasn't, though. I would only spend a year in prison before I qualified for an early release.
Well, that was lucky.
That's not lucky. That's Hollywood.
Well, someone's a little feisty.
What was lucky was getting offered a role in Ally McBeal as soon as you got out of the prison.
I was fortunate enough to get offered a good role as soon as I was released from prison. It was my comeback role that got me an Emmy nomination and a Golden Globe win. It still wasn't enough to keep me clean, though.
Still doing the same drugs and getting in the same trouble, huh?
J.L. Jr. Being nice. I'm sure this was just a one-time thing.
Sadly, it wasn't. I would get arrested a few times and eventually get fired from the show. I even had a spot lined up to play Hamlet on stage in a production that Mel Gibson was going to direct.
I guess that didn't happen.
It didn't. Mel canceled the production after my second arrest when I got busted carrying cocaine and Vicodin.
Guess it was time to go back to jail.
Not again.
Don't worry, Sabrina Jr. I didn't go back to jail.
Damn it.
Sabrina Jr., I said I didn't go to jail. I went to rehab instead and was put on probation.
Oh. Yeah, that's better than jail.
Did you say, no,
That's not appropriate, Chris.
but oddly relevant?
How much longer until we get to your comeback?
Rehab was better than jail, and we are almost there. I missed out on doing a movie with Woody Allen during rehab, but it was more beneficial for me to get clean. If I got clean, then I could work again and maybe be a better actor. And man, for it.
Missing out on a Woody Allen film is a big deal.
Yeah, Woody Allen doesn't do anything minor.
No, just minors. Hey-o!
Way to steal my one-liner.
I do what I can.
Minor or not, it would have looked great on my resume. I ended up getting my first job from another former addict.
Elton John Jr.?
Actually, oddly, yes. I got to lip sync in a music video for his song, I Want Love.
Junior.
Just go with it.
Okay. Well, you know me. I'm always up for giving and getting a second chance.
Elton John, what are you doing here?
No, Chris. That's not how you deliver the line. You should say, Stuart, what are you doing here?
I love that SNL skit.
Right?
I sometimes stay here here on the weekends. I do a Lion King sing-along for Robert and his family in exchange for gifts.
Ooh, what kind of gifts?
Cocaine and Disneyland tickets, but mostly cocaine.
I thought you stopped doing drugs.
That's just what I tell the press. I still like to dab in the nose candy every now and then.
I'm clean. I just know a guy who can get me what he wants, so why not? If I can get a full performance for my family.
Can I get some blood tonight? It is what I want. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer to get me very high.
I'll make the call, sir.
Thank you, Jarvis.
So, Elton, how did you decide on RDJ for the video?
Don't do that.
Do what?
Don't call me RDJ.
Okay, gotcha. So, how did you decide on Jailboy for the video?
I'm oddly okay with that.
I wanted to call the song I Want Cocaine, but love seems to sell more. I also got Robert hired because I thought he would bring the cocaine. You know, win-win.
That seems to be the right call.
It was, and we've been friends ever since.
Thanks, Hilton. I'll see you later for the movie.
Cheers. I feel like Elton John Jr. is following us. He seems to pop up when we least suspect him.
He must just have good taste in podcasts.
Are we doing a show on Hilton or on me?
You, Iron Man.
Then let's get back to it then, shall we? Mel Gibson called me up and I said I owed him one because of Hamlet. I agreed and he got me a role in The Singing Detective.
Oh, I love musicals.
That led to a role opposite Halle Berry in Gothica.
Oh, Sabrina Jr. hates scary movies.
Oh, that's true. How did you know?
I don't know. I just feel like we've been down this bit before.
The movie wasn't as scary as it was bad. It's okay though, because that got me a leading role in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Shane Black's first film as director.
Yeah, he was definitely a little wet behind the ears, but it was one of the most fun experiences I ever had making a movie up until then.
Was it like a sign of things to come?
Yes, I got to play Lois's brother on Family Guy.
He was the fat guy strangler.
Yeah, great time doing an animated show. They have some good jokes on there.
Sure. Like the chicken fight.
Huh?
Laura doesn't like it when Peter and the chicken fight. She says it goes on too long and takes away from the joke.
I have to agree with her on that one. I think if you have a joke that shows up in multiple episodes, it needs to be done right.
Oh, I like it when it's done right.
That's what she said.
Well, it's the moment you've been waiting for in this story, and I think you people are ready to hear it.
Finally, Iron Man.
Wait, what do you mean, you people?
I mean, you podcasters are ready to hear about my favorite movie that I've ever done. Tropic Thunder was one of the most fun movies that I've ever had the privilege to be a part of.
Wait, you mean to tell me that you had more fun doing blackface than starting what has become the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
No, it wasn't more fun to do that, but it was necessary for the role. It was a parody of how some actors go to extremes to play a part.
Now it's considered to be a very controversial role. In fact, the whole movie was hit by controversy, from Ben Stiller's portrayal of a handicapped person to you putting on blackface. Critics still loved it. I love it.
Wait. Ben Stiller was being handicapped? I thought he was Zoolander in that movie. Oh, crap. That wasn't the Zoolander sequel?
No.
Or prequel? When did it come out?
No. It's one of the few Ben Stiller
I thought
movies
Sabrina
I like.
didn't go out and watch movies.
I watched them both. I just thought he was Zoolander.
Ben Stiller has one role.
Me too.
I was afraid that could happen, but in the end, the role got me an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. It's definitely a role that would get me in more trouble today.
But what about Iron Man? That movie came out the same year as Tropic Thunder, and it might be the role you are most known for.
I know. Please, just talk about Iron Man so he'll quit asking. I'm begging you.
But I wanted to know more about the Tropic Thunder beer.
The Tropica Thunder beer?
The Tropic of Thunder beer is what the beer is, the name of the beer.
Yeah.
Even though the movie was Tropic Thunder, we are drinking Tropic of Thunder lager.
I see. Sabrina, it's not that part of the show yet. That's more towards the end.
Fine. Let's hear about Iron Lad Jr.
I am Iron Man. It was supposed to be a role that I would give more presence to because of who I was as an actor and would help get more public interest in the movie.
So you were going to make it more marketable to see a comic book movie.
Exactly.
I thought you were the perfect choice to play Tony Stark after everything you went through in your life leading up to that point.
I definitely related more to Tony Stark than most would, given my addiction issues. I thought it was a good role and signed on for more movies right away.
I wish they would have put the demon in a bottle storyline in one of the movies. It seemed like they were hinting at it in the first one and a little in the second one.
I agree. That's one of the few memorable things of the second movie, besides the introduction of Black Widow.
I wanted to touch on it, but as we saw more kids were going to see the movies, we dropped that part of the story.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't want the centerpiece of what you're trying to build be launched by a drunk.
Elementary, my dear Chris.
I get that reference. It's Sherlock Holmes, Jr.
It is